What's new in CloudBees CI 2.387.3.3? On May 3rd, 2023, CloudBees CI 2.387.3.3 was released. In this video, we'll talk about all the information that you need to know about this release. CloudBees CI is based on Jenkins LTS. Also on May 3rd, Jenkins LTS 2.387.3 was released. To understand all the other changes that happened within that release, check out the video that I did with Mark Waite about what's new in Jenkins LTS 2.387.3. If you've never taken a look before at the release notes for a CloudBees CI release, let me walk you through how to do that. We're going to start at docs.cloudbees.com. Under Documentation, we'll go to CloudBees CI, and then under the Documentation dropdown, select Release Notes. And now we're on the Release Notes page. So let's go ahead and scroll down, and what we'll see here at the very top, there's an important section. If for some reason you're skipping versions when you do your upgrade, you need to make sure that you look at the release notes for every release in between. Well, what does that mean? For this release, our release number is 2.387.3.3. Let's assume for a moment that we are going to be upgrading from 2.387.1.2. What that would mean is I would need to take a look at the release notes for 1.3, for 2.3, 2.4, before actually looking at the release notes for 3.3, so I know if there are any other changes that I need to be aware of. So you'll notice specifically for 387.3.3, we have a security release. We're going to first take a look at the release notes for traditional platforms, and then we'll go over and take a look at the release notes for modern cloud platforms. So for the release notes for traditional platforms, we see the security advisory right here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and open this up in a new tab. There were two issues related to the InfraDNA backup plugin, or also known as backup. So with this release, these two issues have been resolved. But let's go back over to our release notes. If we take a look at security fixes, there were a handful of upgrades that were also upgraded for this release, but the bottom two are the two items that were in the security advisory. Now, since this release is a .3 release, there were no new features and actually no new feature enhancements associated with this release, but there were a few resolved issues. For these resolved issues, all of these are related to configuration as code or CASC. But let's go down to known issues, and this is the big item for this release. In this case, Xtreme 2 was unable to round-trip ASCII null characters. Now, what happened in this release, and if you go back and watch the Jenkins LTS video that I did with Mark Waite, we talked in depth about this and what caused the changes for this to occur. Now, here's the key part to this. If you're using JUnit to publish test results, that's where it's going to be most prevalent. However, once you upgrade to 2.387.3.3, the JUnit plugin that has this fix is already included. So you won't have to do anything specific for this release, other than just upgrading to 2.387.3.3. So at this point, let's go over and take a look at our release notes for modern cloud platform. Now in this case, there's actually only one other item that I want to go ahead and call out. We'll go down under the resolved section because everything up to that point was covered in the traditional release notes. And this one resolved item, improve the help message of the domain field on the managed controller configuration page. What this issue fixes is it clarifies better in the help about how the domain field is used. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.